Thank you, Candy. I'll come bring this closer. I marked my pages with these elastic bands so the falling out as I open the book. I've been thinking a lot about aggravating situations and aggravating people. And I read about some composite people in the book that have aggravated me in the past. And I came to realize that really these incidents, they were like a can opener. They opened the can for opportunities for practicing mindfulness, opportunities for working on myself so that I'm not as frazzled. And so I'm going to share some of these poems, things that used to bother me. So I lived in the burbs, and in the burbs there's lots of kids and dogs. And sometimes kids just go on yammering when their friends, their human friends are out, and the dog is left alone at home. And sometimes some dogs, they just yammer when they walk by because they want to claim your territory. And this is about those dogs. It's titled Share a Roll. Afraid over dog yelping mania, warriors protest my presence, hijack my fence-free yard, state kingdom, square by square. Shall we sit round glass conference table, debate, negotiate, disarm terrain, celebrate the gavel? You get shelling rights of expression, you, the victor. A natural impulse, nonetheless, nerve-jangling. My desire to bark back is impulse too, scary escalation. Am I fair to wish to curb the stiff gap, to desire you less vocal? Likely not. You, domesticated creature, are supposed to be man's or woman's best friend. Be my friend too. Let me park my feet in this wind teepee, doggedly embrace your canine angst. So I don't want people get me wrong. There's a lot of individual dogs I really like. and I'm very friendly with them, and they're friendly towards me. And sometimes difficult dogs find me interesting, and someone that might be on their side. So what can I say? It's not so much the dogs themselves, it's the fuss they make when how should I put it? When things don't seem right to them, or something they can't claim or something. This next one is about composite person. So if you know them, you don't know them. Plain affect. We were fussy precise, not quite disconnected. Her, sandals clad, torso draped in my foyer, hypnotized by empty frames. Her uninvited parents, toddlers, bulged through doorway. A crew vying for bathroom relief, shooting ammonia vapor out the doors they forgot to close. Leeches latching on for their tea dinner. She, you need less company. Our gap, San Andreas fault. With some information entered, can browse for a song. I crave solitude, in introvert, you know. Cul-de-sac. The burner went alders unshaven, off-leash dogs harassing cats. She ignored her quote from her guru, a powerful mind has enemies, a peaceful mind has friends. Strange. Heard her cleaver, her partner with mathematics. Stone her kids into becoming friends through darkening woods. By default, I shriek apart the air. Bleached paper white, sweat curls her forehead, ache radiating her shoulders wide, chest too, angina cries, extended family fans her, strokes forehead beneath her hyena brow. 911. School balls, graffiti scars obscure windows, fire trucks, police, ambulance, wail in, sea of red, pulse normal, blood pressure low, respiration rate healthy, temperature normal, vegan norm, EKG blood test recommended, ambulance livid, derailed by her Munchausen syndrome. My exhaustion splinters rewind button, rallies white noise self-defense. To download music and other audio files, I shut door on Brutus. Fate evokers. Hell's basement retreat. Summon a thumbnail, and then an index nail of acceptance. Want to add all my fingernails. Manually managed playlist. I based a lot of my poems on dreams I have, and one thing that's been touching my life for a long time is death. And I had the opportunity to talk to an acquaintance a few days ago, and she was talking about 3 people she knew that had recently passed. And she said they were good deaths. And she talked about a friend that she knew one morning. So she phoned the hospital, she ordered an ambulance, and then she went to the hospital, and she spent the day making phone calls to her friends. And then by nighttime, she knew, and then she was gone. And so that seemed like a very good death. And I have an animal tale to share. I may have shared this poem with some of you in an email invitation, but it's something that really impressed me. It's titled Second's Rest and concerns a crow. The crow did not have a good death, but the crow had a good morning. Crow lay, shielded by hostas, featherless patches, wiped down silence. Moments zip by, seconds rest. Comrades flock on the grass. Co-cacophony honors the fallen. Black mass yawning. Visible hand unified in bereavement. Isn't that something? So I saw this crow one day, and the crow was lying on the grass on its back. And there's some white down showing from underneath of its black feathers. And it must have been attacked by an eagle or a hawk. And so it had pierced its black feathers, and the white down beneath was showing. And then the next thing I knew, crow after crow came. And then before I knew it, there must have been 40 or 50 crows in our backyard. And they had all come to honor the fallen comrade. And I was just amazed, impressed, and I do know that crows are social animals because sometimes you hear them in the trees overhead, and then they're all talking to each other. And so you hear this huge crow chorus, and they're all communicating. And somehow word must have gotten out through Crow Talk, and they had all come to honor this wonderful crow. And so I call that not a good death, because it must have had a painful death, but it was a good warning. And I have, it's not that I'm obsessed with death or anything, but I think death touches your life more as you get older. And so I have some poems that honor different friends whose lives have passed. This poem is for Kiko, and it's titled For Kiko. She was a friend I met when I was teaching ESL at a community center near my home. And a large number of Japanese seniors, they were going to school at a Japanese international school nearby. And they came to attend my ESL classes. And I had a lot of fun doing those ESL classes because I did things like play Simon Says with them. And then I also had a few cooking lessons for them, which was fortunate because there was a kitchen in the facility. And so we made lemon meringue pie and chocolate chip cookies. And I was very impressed by the group. And unlike North Americans, they're very communal and they're very collective. And there's this lone male in the class, and they would laugh at him because he was very awkward at cooking, and they would say things like, "Oh, you've had a few too many," and even though it's just the middle of the afternoon. And so Kiko became a personal friend, and she was also a poet, and she was the first one who introduced me to the Tonka form of poetry. And so she holds a special place in my life. And I didn't find out about her passing until I just realized something must have happened to her and she's no longer here. So this is for Kiko. The year after you turned 70, I emailed you. Reply, I had head surgery. Your emails and phone calls ceased. Though my writing robe bears tears, still, I miss scars by the text, yarn of your memory. This next one is also for an artist friend. She lived next door to us when we lived in White Rock. And she took an interest in it, so I was very pleased because she was a fellow artist. It's titled Transition. First mission skimmed through cool blue waters. Inky dust leaked from my paintbrush. An earth tone portrait of me, too, that resembles someone else. Puzzled to be linked with soil, I nonetheless placed a tan rendering in my salon. You inhaled painting, stereotypes too, that I didn't realize until I dismantled my own thoughts decades later. Open sometimes, you in red shorts, a mole halter top to weed, your artistry blossoming, nasturtium gardens, your faded scarf. For hooking up your stereo, you gifted bountifully one of your prints, my first real art. Years slid by, palette of my memories, erased colors. I missed the artistic bond, my idealized image of you. I phoned, a murmur, breast cancer. Dropped by the old neighborhood, rang your bell, peered through your glass panel back door, seeing things unfamiliar, gray shadows of furniture, dissolution. How am I doing for time, Tandy?
I think you're good for reading, but if you want to maybe discuss your writing process.
My reading process?
Your writing process.
My writing process. Well, often it takes a series of life events to happen, and I see a common theme among them. And trying to meditate, not too successfully, but sometimes images come to mind when after meditating, and if something bothersome has happened, often a striking image will appear. And so that's been the basis for my art, and sometimes also for poetry. And so those are the prime things I can think of for my creative process. Sometimes I'll be washing the dishes or cooking, and then an idea or a string of words will come to me. And I think just when conscious thought isn't occupying my mind.
Is there something else you're interested in that maybe is related to writing or not related to writing?
Well, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And I love to eat. I don't know anyone that doesn't like to eat, except maybe anorexics or bulimics and maybe depressed people. And I've been vegan for about 5 months consistently now. And I think cooking is also part of the creative process. I know Lydia shows beautiful pictures of her meals on Facebook.
I know, I was thinking that. Inspired, yeah.
And so sometimes seeing your pictures inspires me to try something different. And often you use a lot of different ingredients all in one dish. And it looks like a work of art, really. And I used to be one veg, one piece of protein, starch, and then fruit, and that was it. But seeing food like yours, it gave me ideas, and I sometimes think of food as a palette and a painting, and I try and put it in, squish in as many colors as possible, and also spices. Something that tantalizes all your senses, and so I didn't want to talk about something like this. Actually, what I really wanted to talk about was death. Again, sorry.
If that's your special interest, go ahead.
No, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I was reading Bar Patch a couple of nights ago, and there was an editorial piece, and they were talking about the deaths that we do honor and recognize. Like the people in this book, they're honored and recognized, and then I've been thinking about the creatures of the earth that aren't honored and recognized, and also the peoples that aren't recognized, often marginalized peoples. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and would it be my place to write about such? Does anyone have any thoughts?
You're asking the audience Q&A now, it's reversed.
Yeah.
Cool, that's a good move.
I'm cueing you.
We noticed.
I was just thinking about the last novel I read, which was Really Dragonbox, Rue de Rosier, and she talks about the basic premise of the book is a bombing that took place in 1982 at Goldenberg's Deli in Paris. And she says in her notes, she wants the book to be a way of memorializing those people. And she's Jewish, and she feels a connection to that story. So I didn't, I think that's a very respectful departure, point of departure. So I guess
I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about the recent synagogue shooting, and I was thinking also where that anti-Semitism had risen in 50 states in the U.S. and is it my place, or is it okay for me as a non-Jew to write about it? There's been so much talk about appropriation and so on, and I have more questions and not too many answers. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts about that.
Well, I would, it brings to mind Robin Blazer's approach, which was to look into the history of those animosities. So, you know, he created an opera about Christ and the Christian religion, and what he looked at closely was the relationship between the apostles and Christ, so including Judas, who then is a historical figure that leads to the animosity between Christians and Jews. So one way for someone outside the tradition to look at something like that is to go into the history, you know, and then,
That's a good idea. Yeah.
you know, like the deep history.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an issue of dogmatic stance either way. I often think about the importance of respect and one's own relationship to the material. But I personally would never write about the indigenous peoples of history because there's a power imbalance there. But if I say wrote a character in my novel about an indigenous person, it would never be I would never want to have that person be the main character because I don't feel that's my place. If I were to write about something or someone that I don't know about, I need to do a lot of research on it, which means consulting people.
Well, I have or have had a number of Jewish friends, so I don't know if this relationship gives me an in or
Well, you're an observer, but you have a relationship to the people or individuals. I mean, that's really genuine.
mm-hmm.
It's not just genuine
It is genuine.
from a respectful
Yeah.
place. I mean, I don't mean you're not genuine, I just mean as long as a person, a writer, is genuine about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, you know, if you only to write about what you know, then I couldn't write much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it always seems to me like this is a bigger and harder question for fiction writers. So as a poet, you can write about your experience and whatever that is, and you know that can be received. But a fiction writer is creating worlds, and like you say, you have to write about more than you personally know and personally experience. And so I heard a writer named Colson Whitehead, who's African-American, talking about writing about his book, The Underground Railroad. And he said, well, of course, I didn't have any of these experiences, and writes from the point of view of a woman. Which, you know. And he said, but if you do it well, then it's okay. But the important thing is to really make sure that you do it the best you possibly can.
Yeah, I think there are always power imbalances, so a man writing about a woman, there's already that gradient. And
Yeah, I always fantasize about writing in the first person voice of a straight white man. I haven't done it yet. No, we should probably all try that. Yeah. I have a short story that's pretty wild, and it's based on an actual incident of violence that happened in my apartment building. And it's these two guys working class guys, and there's a horrible accident that happens due to a drug trip. So I made it all fiction around the actual incident, but it's these two, I think they're straight, yeah, two straight white guys, but working class guys. So I really enjoyed doing that, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I like to write up, not write down.
Yeah.
I like to write up to unsettle the usual power structure, so that's why I'm interested in reading.
Uh-huh.
And I think just being conscious that power differential is critical.
Yeah, I think reflecting deeply a lot about these things and not rushing through and to put something on paper and so on. Or even if you do, you could backtrack and reflect more and so on. But thank you everyone for coming in the first place and for listening. Thank you for your presence.
Does anyone have any other questions for Elaine? She had questions for us, but does anyone have questions for Elaine?
Elaine, when I was reading your poetry, I had the impression that there were certain ways in which you had drawn the characters in your, maybe some of these creatures that aggravated you, I don't know, but every once in a while I got the feeling that I was actually looking at a comic strip, like a character would have like a very fat legs like a turtle or something. I can't remember the animal, but there was something like that, and I thought, I wonder if you were, if your drawing of figures was coming into it.
No. For a long time I just painted with words, but obviously now I paint with paint and ink and all those other things.
Yeah.
But in a way, it was like drawing images, but I just did it with words. And I think I'm going off my logical brain now. I've read that writing is a very logic-based thing, so I think I'm moving out of that a bit now. And so I've got images visually. I'm saying sense.
Yeah, so visually you're moving a little bit towards the idea of a comic figure in some poems, I think. At least that's the way it struck me.
I'm trying to think of what you mean by
I wish I had the text in front of me, but
You mean like in a moving sequence of panels?
Or just crazy drawings, right? Creatures that are made out of more than one style of body.
Yeah, because a lot of these characters are composites.
It was the composite idea that
Yeah, they're just sort of, when you cut out that bit from this magazine, you plop these body parts from somewhere else.
yeah.
And they may not look like a whole comprehensive figure that you might see on the street.
But they made emotional sense. They made absolute emotional sense. I thought they were very, very successful, and you have that quirky, turn of phrase that, for me, it was very, very much.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Meredith. Does someone else have a question?
I do. Would you, if you can, if you will, talk a bit more about your use of dreams? So, you must have quite an active dream life, and do you keep a dream journal? Do you write it all down? How does the dream or dreaming factor into poems?
Sometimes, it's getting back to comics. I dream as though it were a movie and plays out in my mind like a movie. And then if it's close to morning or my natural waking up time, I often remember the dreams, so they're lucid dreams. And so I'll run to my notebook and jot down the sequence as I remember it. And often when I look at it again, the writing's kind of squiggly and not really accurate, because I guess I'm still in a semi-dream state when I write them down. And in a sense, it's not a dream journal per se, it's just a general journal. I'll jot them down, and sometimes I find they occur as a narrative, so then I'm able to turn them into a poem. Does that answer your question, Jim? Okay, great. Anyone else? Am I taking up Adrian's
Good. Well, thank you so much, Elaine.
time?